that whole pursuit of extraordinary from your business days, and your kids are in their 30s now, but they weren't in their 30s at the time that you were challenging an organization to be extraordinary. They were in their middle teens to 20s, whatever like that. And you were traveling all over the country. I know that from working with you. How are you able to balance the family dynamic, being, a devoted husband, a devoted father, and an unbelievably committed leader with humanity and being chief culture officer in mind? You had all these roles in your life that you're leading. How are you keeping all that in balance?
Well, first and foremost, I'm married to the best person I could ever be married to, and I love her dearly. And so she was able to play a role in that. So she was like the rock in my life. She remains the rock in my life. But I had some personal rules when I was traveling, that I would never stay overnight unless I had to. And so the flights to the West Coast, which are long, would require me to stay overnight. But I would fit in all of these things. I would get out there, in the first flight, go through everything, deal with the thing the next day that I had to deal with, and then come back. And anywhere else, it would just be a day trip. Whether it's to the prairies, that would be a day trip. I can tell you a story of, we had to replace a manager in our Halifax office, which is on the east coast of Canada. It's an hour 45, 2-hour flight from Toronto. So I flew out there, as I had to deal with it. That night was my daughter's Christmas concert. I dealt with all of that. I got the flight back to be able to be at her Christmas concert. And I caught the next flight in the morning back to Halifax so I could continue to deal with it. And then I came back that evening. So I wasn't going to let myself miss or not be part of things in my family unless it was absolutely critical that I do so.
Wow. Never ends. You see, it's funny, you're just constantly thinking about being in balance. And that's what I've shared with people as well. I said, it's a very difficult, ongoing, daily pursuit. And when you're constantly thinking of family first and balancing it with the leadership traits and qualities, chief cultural officer, all things you need to do, just knowing that's top of mind all the time is, in essence, part of that balancing act.
Absolutely.
Knowing that I've got to stay balanced here. I got to pick up the phone and call her today. I got to check in with the kids. I got to attend to these strategic issues that are on my desk. A leader called me from here. A leader called me from there. An advisor needs me here. It's constant figuring out how to prioritize and how to stay on top of things.